Hi, my name is Meade LeBlanc. Welcome to the program that's called Web Sweet Web. And it's about how, for the spider, her entire life is on her web. Similar to, for many of us, our homes became our whole universe during COVID. We're going to have the talk take about 10 minutes. It will be right here on the boardwalk, and the spiders are going to stay safely behind us here in the trees. Well, one thing you probably notice is that this spider is pretty big, probably the largest spider you will ever see. She can get to be about 3 inches in size, and the males are usually a little bit smaller, and the web can get to be 3 to 6 feet in size. For this spider to have her web as her home, it needs to be pretty strong and flexible and resilient. It needs to be strong because it needs to stand up to wind, to rain, to maybe some other critters that might fly through it. And it needs to be flexible because if a bug runs into that web and bounces off, then she doesn't get any dinner. And the spider web also needs to be sticky because it needs to be able to attach the insects that fly into there. So for the spider to have an effective home, it needs all of those components. How do you think the spider web can be both strong and sticky and flexible? Because the spider can use different kinds of silk to weave her web. Have any of you ever felt a spider web? Maybe you were walking on the trail today or walking around in your home, and did you feel like what a spider web feels like? What did it feel like? Did it feel kind of sticky? Did it feel stretchy? Yes, very good. Once the spider builds her web, then she needs to go into maintenance mode, just like you maybe have to do some chores around your house. If the web does get damaged, or a large bug flies through there, or it gets a tear on there, or a stick comes through, then she needs to reweave her web. She will stay on this web for her entire life, like I said. So she will maintain it and will only rebuild it if something causes it to completely fall to the ground or get totally destroyed. Will she start building a brand new web? But hopefully she'll just be able to maintain it, and she will spend a lot of time reweaving sections of that web. She's also the recycling group for her web, because sometimes she will actually eat some of the web and use that to create new silk for her home. Now, I mentioned that the spider is going to live on this home her entire life, and once she has the web built, now the web will start providing some communications and some information back to the spider. First place that happens is with food. What does the spider eat? Maybe we can look at some of the spider webs later on our walk and see if we see some food in there. But you're right, spiders eat bugs, spiders eat mosquitoes. They might eat flies, they might eat bumblebees, right? Moths, butterflies, pretty much anything that flies into her web and gets stuck on her web is going to be her dinner. She does not go out hunting, she waits for the food to come to her. It's kind of like getting food delivery at your home every night, getting pizza delivery perhaps, or groceries delivered. So she will get that food, she'll wrap it up, and she will eat that. And that's the way she will know if the food is there. These spiders don't have very good eyesight, so they rely on the web communicating back to them with sense of touch when something is there. So it's like this rubber band. If you had something land on one side, it would vibrate, of course, and you would know. And this is how the spider knows that there is something in her web that she can go and wrap up and eat for dinner. The other thing the spider gets communication on is when there's a male nearby that wants to mate. Mating season usually takes place late in the fall, and the male spider does not live with the female. This is the female's web, this is her home, so the male has to be kind of polite when he comes by to see if the female is interested in him. And the way he does that is he will come over near her web and he will pluck some of the strands on her web. And that will vibrate again. This is kind of like maybe your cell phone, when you have your phone on vibrate and a friend of yours calls or texts or whatever, and you feel your cell phone vibrating, and you take a look and you say, do I want to talk to that person or not? The female, again, makes the decision. Remember, she is way bigger than he is, so she can make the decision whether she's interested in him or not. And the males may not survive for too long if they're not holding up to her wishes. Well, after they mate, the female will create an egg sac, and it's pretty big. It's about the size of a ping pong ball, and it's brown in color, and it's full of eggs. There could be hundreds or thousands of eggs in there. She will leave that egg sac on the ground in the fall, and at that time the spider's work is done and they start to decline, and you rarely see this golden web spider out here after around October or so. Those spider eggs will stay in that egg sac until about March of the following year. Why do you think those eggs take 6 months to come out of the egg sac? Well, yes, because those eggs, those little spiderlings, need to make it through the winter. This gives them a chance to survive into the spring when the weather is nice and they've got a better chance of survival. So they will wait there all winter long. Have any of you seen the movie or read the book Charlotte's Web? And you remember Charlotte at the end lays her egg sac and then dies, and then the following spring all the little baby spiderlings are out there, and Wilbur Pig is very excited. Anyway, this is exactly what spiders do. The female is counting on those next generation of spiders to come and save the species, because she'll be gone. The spiders will learn how to grow up and not have any parents around, no parental supervision. During Hurricane Ike, we had a lot of damage here. A lot of our canopy was destroyed. We lost about half of the canopy out in the forest, and the trees were blown down. And the hurricane came ashore in late September when a lot of the eggs had been laid, so it was quite devastating for this golden web spider. The next spring there were hardly any to be seen. It took about 10 years for them to rebuild their numbers. And even this freeze back in February, I can see has had an effect out here. There are very few spiders out, but there are some. And so nature's very resilient, and there are some little spider webs right here next to me. So they are coming back. So I mentioned the fact that the spider's web is her whole universe. It's where she lives her whole life. In Native American lore, spiders are very important. And there's a story about how the spider created the universe, so kind of flips that story around, and I'll read that little story to you. There is a woman who weaves the night sky, see what she spins, how her fingers fly. She is within us, beginning and end, our grandmother, our sister, our friend. She is the needle and we are the thread. She is the weaver and we are the web. She changes everything she touches. Everything she touches changes. So that's the end of my talk, and I hope you enjoyed my story about how the web is the entire universe for the spider during her entire life. And as you walk around Armand Bayou, I'd like you to think about what this forest would be like without any spiders. And if you would like some more information about our programs here, I have a clipboard over there. I would invite you to sign up with your email address, and we'll get you on our mailing list. I'll be sticking around for a little while for more questions or to chat some more if you'd like. And otherwise, enjoy the rest of your day. Bye-bye.